The Denver Broncos are starting to do what we said they were going to do, which is shock the world. That everyone saying we were a talentless football team is quickly changing their tune. We get even more good news after we completely trounced the Tampa Bay Buccaneers in week 3 that proves that this is sustainable and this is how it's going to be from now on. I really think this is just the floor of what this Denver Broncos team is going to be, and I'm going to show you why in this video. If you never stopped Bo-leaving, it helps me out a ton if you would smash that like and subscribe button. Hit it as hard as Riley Moss is hitting the charts, spiking up as truly a cornerback 2. End of this video, I have a video that got me through the entire day. I watched it on repeat, sent to me by a viewer of this channel. We're going to get to that and so much more. So let's dive in. So the big wins of the day, I think the first thing was just seeing what a dog we have in Riley Moss. We knew Pat Surtain, unquestionably the best corner in the league. We saw what he did to Mike Evans yesterday, letting him have 2 catches for 17 yards, one of the best wide receivers in the game. They just gave him the bag. He's a legit dog, and Riley Moss balled out of control and actually was one of the highest graded cornerbacks through week 2. And just imagine that the more and more he learns this game, it's all mental at this point. Like he proved with his 40 time, with his athleticism at the University of Iowa, he had what it took physically to play this position. And now he's just going to pick more and more up of this. Vance Joseph is going to know how to use him more and more, but he looked ridiculous, causing that amazing fumble that really iced the game for us, although it was over by that point in time. And just looking, our defense had a ton of studs who were graded incredibly highly in this game. And some of the players who I thought had better games, like Zach Allen had an incredible game, doesn't even make one of the highest grade players on this team from yesterday. That just shows you how hard they all were playing and shows you Sean Payton's ability to motivate all of those dudes to go thousands of miles from home in 100-degree heat. You know, they were on the sideline where they had to put up those like little jalopy canopies, and they were just literally baking in the heat, and they still showed up and showed out, and so much to be excited about that. I think the other thing was just seeing Bo Nix continues to make these incremental jumps up. And if this is Bo Nix's floor, you don't even want to see what his ceiling is, because we will be insufferable in our bragging about him, because we've been in such quarterback purgatory since Peyton Manning left. And if we found our dude, watch out, because you will never hear the end from us. I think we just saw tons of flashes of really his ability to grasp this and how much slower the game is for him. And we had hoped, Sean Payton told us, hey, this guy played 61 starts in college. The game will slow down for him faster than it is some of these young bucks coming right out. And we are seeing that, and just seeing the difference between his, I remember the Seattle game. There were a couple times, including his interception that he intended for Courtland Sutton, where he is kind of fading off, going to his left. And it's always hard to fade anyways, but going to your left, especially for a right-handed thrower, and just seeing how different it was here, where he does have pressure in his face, and watch him still set his feet, not get happy feet, and just hit this dart to Courtland Sutton. There really is no other way to describe it other than like he threaded the needle and put that ball. That was great coverage for the corner there for Tampa Bay, and you just see him stand firm, a great block, blitz pickup there, and just thread the needle, putting it into Courtland Sutton where only Court could catch it. And now we're starting to see, when you look at his pass chart, that he's using that entire field. He's doing these little dink and dunk for 4 yards that is going to drive defenses crazy, because his jersey is going to be clean. I love wearing orange, but man, I was wishing it was white, because it would look like it came directly out of the laundry, because he did not take a single sack in that game. And they were hitting Palchevsky like crazy. Sire Bettinger from Locked On had an awesome tweet that showed all of the different dudes who tried to blitz on Palchevsky, and still Bo Nix does not take a sack. And no Russell Wilson hate here, but that's just not what we've had at that position. I can't recall the last time we had a game where our quarterback was not sacked once. And that is why we're hearing Garrett Bowles come out and be like, hey, when we keep him clean, he is an athletic freak of nature when we give him time. And that's exactly what we saw today and yesterday, was Bo Nix had time, and watch out. And I just think if we did that without McGlinchey, what is this team going to be like if that offensive line can stay healthy throughout the rest of the year? I don't think we've seen anywhere close to Bo Nix's ceiling. And if that's his floor, we're already going to be in a place where we're in every single game that we play this year. I said that right from the jump, watching our defense week 1 against Seattle, that I said that defense will keep us in every game. And we've played some great teams, and we're going to look at that here in a second as well. Looking at Bo Nix's QBR from ESPN out there, that he was a top 10 quarterback as a rookie, you guys, in his 3rd game against a 2-0 hot team who wanted to win this game. Tampa Bay wants to win that division. They have goals for winning that division, and already we're looking that we have a top 10 quarterback, and all the bragging that Sean Payton did is looking like it was spot on. I'm not saying I'm canceling my February plans for going to the Super Bowl, but man, playoffs are definitely in sight. Looking at just him making those incremental changes each week, he goes from a 45 quarterback rating his first week to playing an elite Super Bowl caliber defense and a 32 quarterback rating his second week, to then jump 50 points in QBR to be in the top 20, the top 10, almost the top 5. That is amazing, you guys. And looking that he is outranking Patrick Mahomes, who is playing with the help of the referees, and a huge congratulations to Patrick Mahomes. It sounds like he and Roger Goodell are officially engaged, and I want to be the first to congratulate him on his engagement. Looking here, just some of the amazingness. We remember that this step up in space here was just filthy here, where he has pressure coming. I think I could see a world where I remember a former quarterback wearing number 3 who would probably try to spin out this way and would end up getting sacked back here. But for him to know right before he throws, to then tuck the ball and not just like dive and self-sack, but turn this into a massive gainer. Incredible improvement for Bo Nix going into week 3. And just seeing that his QBR on the entire year, when you take that 32 and 25 and the 80, that his QBR over 3 games, despite playing way harder defenses than any of these other quarterbacks listed, Patrick Mahomes has not played the type of defense. He hasn't had to run up against the Pittsburgh Steelers and a brand new Seattle team, and yet he still has a higher QBR than Dak Prescott, Kirk Cousins, Jared Goff, who played against the same team, and he looked way better than Caleb Williams, way better than Baker Mayfield, and looking that he has more yards on the ground than even these amazing athletes in Justin Fields and Daniel Jones, who's known to tuck and run it as well. So that's cool. And just looking that he's got more 20-yard throws as well than Patrick Mahomes, or the same amount as Patrick Mahomes, but more than Jackson, Cousins. The list goes on and on. He is looking fantastic, and we should be adequately hyped for what we see. The other thing is that, yes, the Denver Broncos are 1-2, and everyone's going to be like, hold your horses. They're still at the bottom of the division. Here's the thing, you guys. We are actually 1-2, and I think we've already played the toughest defenses we will play. So this is really giving you passing and rushing defenses and like how good they are. We played the best defense in the league here, and then one of the other best defenses here. And so I think we are going to look back on weeks 1 and 2 and say, yeah, we actually were in 1-score games with some of the best defenses in the league. And we've got teams like the Jets who aren't as good. We get to play against the Panthers. We get to play the Raiders twice. We get to play the Chiefs twice. We get to play the Falcons. So like we are in a place where I don't think we'll see a defense nearly as good as the one that we were in 1-score games with, that you could say if a couple things went a little different and Bo just played a little better, we come out of those games with victory. So that is very exciting. We also get really cool news that Dondre Tillman, who stepped up, that was the player out of the UFL who just balled out of control in the UFL, and we weren't sure, is that going to translate? And I hyped everyone to thinking that it might, but truly that was kind of a reach on my part. Well, he did hit in, and despite the fact that he was one of the last men up in that rotation, he still was able to turn his limited snaps into getting to the quarterback twice. And we're at a point here when Baron Browning comes out there, and when Drew Sanders is healthy, we're not going to have enough snaps for all of our pass rushers, which is a fantastic, fantastic problem to have. Other awesome news, just seeing that Badie, I think I was laughing at the commentators because I thought they were just a bunch of dum-dums, because last year, 2 years ago, he came out and said it was pronounced Badie, and he has since switched the pronunciation of his name to Tyler Badie. So that is the correct pronunciation. My bad on laughing at the color commentators. But only 2 players in the entire NFL last week got over 20 miles an hour when they clocked them using the GPS, and one of them was Saquon Barkley, and the other one was your Denver Broncos running back, Tyler Badie. look for him to get more and more touches because I think he's picking up that playbook. It's wild to me that he came off the practice squad. So technically any team in the NFL right now, if they offer him a position on the 53, he could still get snatched up, as could Alex Palczewski. So we're in a spot where you're probably going to have to make some cuts to keep those guys, and we'll keep you informed on that. Next thing was just, I love Bo Nix's composure. Bo Nix's leadership is off the charts, and I thought a great point here from Broncos Griff, talking about how cool it is that when Bo Nix is asked a question, he doesn't gloat, he doesn't care about himself, he turns it on the team so fast, but it comes off way more authentic and humble than other quarterbacks in the league who might do something like that. So he was asked, hey, are you going to enjoy your first win? And he's like, yeah, I got to. You only get this moment one time, but our guys deserve this. Our guys have earned this. We have a great team that really battled there. And I love that he did not make his first win in the NFL about him. He made it about his teams. The same thing happened when he threw his first touchdown pass in the preseason. They tried to hand him the ball, and he gave it back to Marvin Mims. I was like, I don't need that. It's not about Bo Nix, and it is very rare that you find a leader who is like that authentically. He's not. This isn't a show. This is truly who he is. So the last thing here, and I've got to give massive shout out to Mark Lewis, who sent this to me last night. I watched it twice before a tough meeting at work because it got me so hyped. We have heard the term young and hungry all the time. Sean Payton's described this team as young and hungry. McGlinchey has said that. Like it's how you describe this team, and you want to see what young and hungry truly looks like. Check out this play by Riley Moss, and you're gonna watch this. I did not see this in real time. Obviously, I saw the play, but I did not notice this in real time. And I guess YouTube thinks I have overworked liver. So I might want to get that checked out. But I think all of our livers are going to be overworked after watching. You want to see after the Raiders lost to the Panthers, you heard their coach come out and say, some guys out there were making business decisions, so we're going to make some business decisions moving forward. Here's a guy on a business trip making a different kind of business decision. So you're going to watch him, and he is going to be going up against Tristan Wirfs, who is just a behemoth of a man who outweighs him by like 120-something pounds, so like a whole sixth grader. And if that guy's coming downhill with like a full head of steam like that, I'm running as far away as fast as I can and watch him just, boom, take him down, right? You got Tristan Wirfs coming down on you with a head of steam, and you take him head on, and you have the better of that interaction. And then still enable the Denver Broncos to stop this for a negligible gain there compared to what that play was drawn up to do. That is what young and hungry looks like. That is what we can look forward to for the rest of the season, because really we are all just a bunch of lonely boys raised in South Detroit who took the midnight train going anywhere because we didn't stop Bo leaving. Bum, bum, ba, da, da, dum, bum. Ah, da, da, dum. Don't stop believing.